I heard y'all got some entrepreneur questions, so we're gonna get into that today. We are covering everything. Don't miss out. Alright, so the first question says, what was the biggest things you had to change or eliminate in order for you to get your mindset in a successful state to progress? Did that change or improve your consistency? I'm trying to do more personal development and less drinking, but woo, Lord. Alright, great question. So the first thing I had to change was definitely my mindset, right? So if you think that people with money are bad or they're selfish, that's not the right mindset to have, right? Also, I had to change my habits, like watching reality shows all day, spending time on Netflix all day. Every day I get up and I work, right? So I don't really sit down and chill and relax when I know that I'm not where I want to be in life. And that was one of the main things I had to change, right? Everything starts with your mindset. If you think that you can do something, you can actually do it. If you think that there's not enough for everybody to go around, then you're gonna have a negative mindset. So my first thing was changing my mindset, right? So eliminate watching reality shows all the time, eating fast food all the time, going out, partying, drinking, things like that. So you do have to eliminate some of those things in order for you to focus. Now, when you get to where you want to be, you can, go to the club. It's not going to affect you like that. But if you're not where you're at and you're spending your last $20, $40 at the club, you're definitely going to hurt yourself. So that was step number one. All right, so the next question says, when did you decide you were tired of working for others and wanted to start working for yourself? So I would always go to jobs and feel miserable. Like as soon as I walked through those doors, I felt like my creativity just left my body, literally, right? So I would get tired of doing stuff like being on the computer, answering the phones, doing the same thing over and over. I had warehouse jobs doing the same thing over and over. It's so repetitive. I really didn't feel like you had to use your brain at those jobs. So when I knew that it was mentally draining me and physically draining me, right, I knew it was time for me to go. I always wanted to have my own business. When I was young, I used to think like, I know I'm gonna have my own business. I just didn't know what it was. I used to think at 25 I would have my life figured out, have a career, like my career was like being a boss. I didn't know what I wanted to own, right? So I was just tired of doing the same thing over and over. I wanted to use my brain. I wanted to use my creativity, but I literally did not know what to do. So the first thing I did was start researching natural hair care products and natural hair care ingredients, and I started Curlé. That was back in 2018. The thing was, I started spending my business money and not reinvesting back into my business, and I ended up back at a job. So don't do that. But I just knew that when it was draining me mentally and physically, I knew it was time for me to go. All right, so we can't just quit our jobs if we're mentally or physically drained, right? We have to have enough money or enough sources of income to be able to quit. Right, so I started doing DoorDash, I was doing websites, I was doing anything. I was doing flipping pallets, I was doing everything in my power in order to stack my money, right? So that was step one. Once I put out that course and I stayed consistent and I started paying those pages to post me, and the course sales started going crazy and the course sales took over my life, right? I had to do DMs and things like that. I couldn't physically go back to, doing DoorDash or anything like that because it was taking over my life, right? So you have to have enough money to be able to quit. Not only money, your 9 to 5 has to be getting in the way of you prospering, right? So if you have so many orders, you have 100 orders you need to take care of, but you're at work and you can't physically do that, then I think it's time to quit. But you have to have the money and you have to have enough business for you to be able to quit your job. Just because you have one $600 day does not mean go ahead and quit your job, because tomorrow you can have a $50 day or a $0 day. So you want to make sure that you have all your ducks in a row before you quit your job. All right, so this question says, the mentality transition in between investing in one thing, then branching off into another. Explain the mentality and the thought process behind it. The thing a lot of big names do is show you the blueprint, but they don't explain the mentality and drive behind each business move. Okay, so for me, my first brand was the hair care line, right? So I was doing that, but I felt like the sales were not enough money for me to change my life, right? So I had to figure out something else that was going to be bigger money, right? So I started flipping pallets. Flipping pallets was great money, don't get me wrong. It was keeping me above waters, right? So flipping pallets was great money. It was keeping me above waters. But I knew I had to show everybody else, right? So when I showed everybody else, I started making so much money with the flipping pallets course that it became a business, right? So I was able to hire more people. So I hired somebody to do my DMs, I hired somebody else to be on the ads and to post on my page every day. So when that business became really passive for me, like I don't necessarily have to be there because I have people working for me, then I can venture off into the next business. So I saved up enough money and I bought those houses. With those houses, the rental properties, I have a property manager. When you hire a property manager, they do the day-to-day issues for you. So if somebody's toilet is broken, they will handle it, right? If somebody's door is locked and they can't get in, they need a new key, the property manager will handle that. So that becomes real passive for me. So once a business is truly passive for me, that's when I'll move on to the next business, because I don't need to physically be there. I have somebody else in a position to handle it for me. The day-to-day stress of my business is not my business no longer, right? So if something's going wrong with the Flipping Pallets course, that's not my business, right? I hire people that will handle that for me, right? Until it becomes a huge problem, then that's my business. So once I get everything passive, I'll move on to the next thing. So for me now, after buying the houses, I bought the mobile home because I don't need to be physically there at the houses seeing what's going on. I was able to go buy the mobile home, right? So once everything is truly passive and you have enough money coming in, and you have enough money where if the deal goes bad, it's not going to affect you. Like if my mobile home goes bad, I only spent $6,200 on it, it's not going to make or break me, right? So I think both of those equations have to be there. You have to have one business truly passive, right? Or passive enough where you can go handle something else. And then also you want to make sure that if you were to make this next purchase, it's not going to make or break you. How do you get the confidence in order to start flipping or to invest into mobile homes? All right, so confidence is so important, you guys. When I first started selling Flipping Pallets, I was so scared to put it out just because I felt like everybody was already in their careers, people were having their families, and I was starting over, right? I moved back home to start all the way over. But once I put it out, it changed my life. You know what I mean? I didn't let fear hold me back. And that's what I think a lot of people are afraid of. They're afraid of what the next person might think. You're afraid of what might go wrong, but what might go right? You know what I mean? Had I never put out Flipping Pallets, my life would not be like this right now. So you really have to find it in yourself not to care about what the next person thinks. They are not paying your bills. They are not feeding your children. You know what I mean? They're not keeping a roof over your head. So believe in yourself. Know that. Do you think Beyonce or do you think anybody who's famous has got to where they got by being insecure? Right? You have to put yourself out there. You have to. You literally have to, because confidence is what's going to take you to the next level. If you're afraid to put yourself out there, you'll never be out there, and you're going to live that same life over and over and over again. Until you get tired of living that life and until you build up enough self-esteem, look in the mirror every day and tell yourself, like, I can do this, and you go out there and do that. The more stuff that you accomplish, the better you will feel about yourself. The better you'll feel about yourself, the more stuff you're going to want to keep accomplishing. Because once I accomplish something, I'm like, okay, I can do something else. I feel great enough about myself that I can go accomplish the next thing. This question says, how do you do all of this and maintain a mindset of keep pushing? I often get discouraged or no longer motivated seeing no one support me. We can't expect our family and our friends to support us, right? They are not our target audience. You know, you might put out something and they might support it just one time. That's not enough, right? So it is discouraging when you feel like, you know, you thought the people around you would support you the most and they aren't. That's why we pay pages to grow our brand, because the outsiders will support you more than most of the time your family. And then if you think about it like this, even if your mom, every time you drop something, she buys every collection that you have, it's not enough. We have to go find other people who like what we're selling that will support us, right? So that's why I say pay the pages, and don't get discouraged. Even if you pay a page and you don't get sales or followers from it, definitely just keep going, right? So being consistent is everything, right? Make sure your content is on point. Don't oversell. We don't want to see a picture of your shampoo bottle that you're selling every single day without showing results. So show results. Make sure that, you know, you're just being consistent every single day. Sometimes we pay pages, we don't get any sales, but the next day we will get sales. So just stay consistent, be authentic to yourself, and keep going. You don't need nobody else to support you. You're gonna go find, you don't need your family or friends, you're gonna go find people who are interested in what you do, and they're gonna think you're so cool. So definitely just stay consistent, be disciplined, right? So even if you do have a good day, don't get high off your high and lows off your lows. If you have a great day today, doesn't mean you're gonna have a great day tomorrow. One says, how do I get everything done being a mother or a parent in general, things are hard? Okay, so being a parent is a lot of work, right? But we have to find time. So I don't think we realize how much time we spend scrolling on our phones. We're on World Star, we're on the Shade Room, you know what I mean? We're laughing, we're seeing what our friends are doing, but you have to be that person who is getting stuff done. So when your kids are asleep, maybe give yourself 30 minutes to yourself, relax, you know, scroll, do whatever you want to do. And then that's when you need to hop on YouTube, take courses, read the books, do the work while they're asleep. Now, I'm not saying stay up all night, because you have to get up the next morning and of course attend to your kids, right? So while they're asleep or while they're at school or wherever they're at, that's when you have to put in that time, that energy, and that effort to get to where you're going to go. The kids are not going nowhere. Once you decide that you're having a kid, they're not going anywhere. So you literally have to figure it out. So stop spending so much time on your phone, just scrolling. Actually use your phone to make money, right? So go on YouTube, buy courses, the books, put in that effort, that energy, do your research. Doing your research is what's going to set you apart. Not just doing your research because I need you guys to put in the action. You can have every course in the world, but if you're not putting in the action, it literally does not matter. So when the kids are asleep, get to it. All right, so this one says, how do you stay focused with all the distractions in the world? Well, I feel like it's easy to be distracted, right? It's easy to come home, watch Netflix, chill, eat fast food, go to sleep, lay up, and do nothing productive, right? It's harder for you to go after your goals, stay focused, right? Stay disciplined and keep going. We know that if you're easily distracted, you're not going to be where you want to be in life. We know what's on the other side of being distracted. We know what the results of being focused are, right? I feel like some people are just waiting for one day. One day my life will be good. One day I'll have that husband I want. One day I'll have that job I want. One day I'll be an entrepreneur. No, if you really want that life, you're going to go after it. You're not going to let anything, when I say anything, I mean anything, distract you, right? So we are going to get distracted, but you can't let that stop you, right? Put a limit to the distractions. If you want to watch TV, set it for like 30 minutes or one show a day or something like that. But you need to be actively reaching your goals or trying to reach your goals more than you're distracted.